I'm a veteran. I'm a single father. I'm a building inspector. I'm a local 3 operating engineer. I often hear the media talk about how we don't have a purpose. We don't have a clearly defined reason for being here. I'm here to protest corporate influence in our state and federal government. Corporations have completely taken over our federal government. Our banking system, a small percentage of the banks managed to convince our federal government that they needed less regulation. The free market would regulate them. This is an analogy that came together by a Harvard professor. This is what Goldman Sachs was doing because the federal government refused to regulate them. They had $50,000 of equitable or liquidable assets, $50,000 of liquidable assets, and they were getting a $3 million loan daily from the federal government. How many of you can take $50,000 into the bank and get a $3 million loan? Enough. The American people will no longer pay for the greed of a few corporations. You need further proof that the banking industry has their hands inside of our federal government. When those free market sources that they espouse so well decided that their fate was bankruptcy, they came to the federal government and insisted the American people cannot afford for us to fail. Again, the federal government, their government, capitulated. Enough. Their government gave away hundreds of billions of dollars of your money. Every American today owes $40,000 just to the national debt. What did they do with that money? They turned around and they paid their top executive multi-million-dollar bonuses. Let me again ask you, in your life, if you took your employer to the brink of bankruptcy, so the only hope for the company's survival was to beg the federal government for money, and you took them to that point by gambling with somebody else's mortgage, we would not get multi-million-dollar bonuses. The 99% of us would be put in jail. When they decided to give these bonuses out and the American people said, wait a minute, time out, what's going on? What was their justification? Their justification was, we're contractually obligated. The corporations have entered into our judicial system so blatantly, so insipidly, that our Supreme Court Justice, the supreme interpreter of our Constitution, has decided that corporate contributions are free speech. In order for our founding fathers to have meant free speech to mean corporate contributions to politics, they would have to interpret it as such. Money is my voice, and I am free to spend as much as possible. I will debate to the death any Chief Justice who wants to justify that decision. Enough. Our Constitution was written so that we, the people, when times of tyranny and destruction rain down from seats of power, we, the people, have the power to say enough. We need to start to take over our judicial system. We need to sign a petition impeaching these justices. We need to take over our banking system. Take your money out of Chase. Take your money out of Bank of America. Put it in the local credit union. Go to your city hall and tell them, enough. No more. No more will a few corporations decide the suffering of this town. No more. If you want to foreclose on anybody in this town, you show us a contract in deed. If you want to foreclose on anybody in this town, you prove that you've tried to keep that person in their home. No more. All it takes is one city ordinance, and this can go away. Enough. We the people have had